Lucasade Sport, proud sponsor of ITV's coverage of the 2010 FIFA World Cup.
Welcome to the Hyundai World Championship 2010. Two giants of the game as Brazil meet Argentina.
My booyah, Africa, sing loud, sing to the people. Let them give us something to the world. We'll ring the bells when you come back. We'll beat the drums when you come back. Our lost African music will turn into the music of the people. Here's the people's music, by the people's culture, and I'll be the one who climb up the mountain. Africa sing, Africa sing, Africa sing, Africa sing, sing, sing Africa, sing, sing Africa, sing, sing Africa, sing, sing Africa. My booyah, Africa.
Hello from all of us on ITV Sport. Welcome to another relaxing, enjoyable evening watching England. Only a win will do. How has it got quite so serious, quite so soon?
Here we go again.
The skipper got England off to an almost suspiciously brilliant start.
And here's Steven Gerrard, and England take the lead.
All too good to be true so far, surely.
No, what an error.
Well, yes.
What an awful moment for Rob Green and for England.
Far from convincing, but just as far from being an absolute disaster.
Stay together and we go again, and that's what we're going to do.
England are now down from the high veld, at sea level in Cape Town. They've got to beat Algeria to get any serious challenge going. We're all very positive in here, just so you know, although we've taken a bit of a gamble getting a Frenchman in because the French's luck is right out at the moment. Patrick Vieira, look, you can just about manage a weak smile after last night. We salute you for coming in tonight. Kevin Keegan's here and Gareth Southgate too. Let's get the team news though. Gabriel Clark is pitchside in Cape Town. Gabriel?
Well, everyone can make a mistake, Adrian, but not everyone gets a chance to put that mistake right. And after much deliberation, apparently long into this morning, Fabio Capello has decided to drop Rob Green after that mistake last week. So David James, 39, gets his chance to play at a World Cup finals, finally. This is England's team then to face Algeria. 3 changes from last week's draw with the USA. Reportedly, Rob Green wasn't too amused to find out via the media that James was first choice. A sub last week for Ledley King. Jamie Carragher retains his place at centre-back. Gareth Barry returns to the anchorman role in midfield, releasing Lampard and Gerrard to support Rooney and Emile Heskey, who's beaten off competition from Jermaine Defoe to keep his place. Green wasn't the only guilty man listened last week. Capello wasn't too pleased with some of the error-prone finishing that England put in against the USA, so target practice has also been on the agenda. But as Steven Gerrard said last night, if England could put in a performance over the whole of the 90 minutes, then surely there shouldn't be a problem.
So, Kevin, let's take the keeper first. What do you make of that decision, James in?
I think it's the right decision. I said after he made the mistake that I thought he may do that. And the reason I think it's right is that in James, you know he's got experience on his side. Also, you leave Green a little door open because if he looks back 10 years at James, he was probably making mistakes too. So he can come back from that. It doesn't put him in the bin and put him away totally, and I think that's a good thing.
What about Gareth Barry? You know him, obviously, Patrick. Is he going to help matters?
Of course, I think he will bring balance to the midfield, and he will give more maybe freedoms to Lampard to go forward. He's somebody who will stay in front of the back four, and it will be really important for England.
Well, he could have done it differently and actually replaced Heskey with Gerrard and played Gerrard behind Rooney, as everybody seems to want to happen. Do you think this is a better idea, this 4-4-2 business?
We will have to wait until the end of the game to see if it's a good decision or not. But I think when you look at Gerrard, he will have the freedoms to go where he really wants to on the left-hand side. And Lampard, we know all about the Frank leg going forward and to join the two strikers. So with Gareth, we know that he will be there and all the players will have the freedoms to go forward.
What about Carragher at centre-half alongside Terry? What do you make of that?
I think it's the right decision because he's the player with the experience. Having lost Ledley King, Dawson and Upson not really experienced at international level. It means that we're a little bit short of pace at centre-back, but it didn't stop me, did it, Kevin? So
Certainly didn't, Gareth. No.
might have stopped you picking me, but it didn't stop me. But those two have got bags of experience, both leaders at centre-back, and you need leadership through the middle of the field. And that's the only slight concern with Gerrard going back on the left for me, that we've given him the captaincy, he rose to that responsibility, and now we're sticking him out on the left again. And I just hope it doesn't have a negative impact on his performance.
So do we worry about a certain lack of pace at the back? How do you counter that? How do you stop yourself being exploited?
Well, they read the game so well. That's where, you know, with great respect to Gareth, that's what he was good at as well. There's not that many central defenders worldwide who've got electric pace. I mean, the greatest centre-half I ever played with England was Bobby Moore. He didn't have pace, but the first 4 or 5 yards is in your head, you know, and you read it. So I'm not as worried about that. I think I take Patrick's point. I think Gareth will sit in front of the back four, and you might get more from Frank Lampard tonight because he's got so much more to offer.
But it was reassuring to hear that Capello's had them doing target practice. That seems to me an excellent idea before a big game. I mean, you'd always do that anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think he works off the back of the previous game, from what we're told. He seems to look at his tried and trusted routine building into a match. One thing I was a little bit surprised at, the talk about us not playing so well last week. Beckenbauer saying we're a kick and rush side, and so what I wanted to do was have a look at some of the stats on
how
passing.
many passes we actually
exactly, because it's easy to throw things like that around. Now, when you actually looked at this, Prozone company produced these stats for the Premier League and for the World Cup, so we can get a good comparable here. If you look at the Premier League average of 305, well, England are only marginally above that. And you go up the table, up to Spain and Brazil, it means that we don't keep possession as effectively, so we don't control games.
On the other hand, Spain are top of that table doing lots of passes. They lost. We're bottom, and we got a draw. So
exactly.
You know.
So it doesn't guarantee you a result, but I think over the course of a tournament, if you control matches fitness-wise, it has a big impact.
Wayne Rooney seems a little bit on the quiet side. Patrick, do you think he'll liven up for tonight?
Yeah, and I think he's nothing to worry about. It's only the first game. And I read some stuff that people say that England didn't play really well, they was lucky or something like that. But I think it's more positive aspect to take from the game than negative aspect of it. And Rain is one of them. He starts really slowly, but what is important is that he's getting better game and after game. And when you look at most of the big names, some of them has been really, really quiet as well.
See, you promised us last time that we'd win, though, and that didn't work. So I'm trusting you rather less this time. We'll see. Our game is the second in Group C today. The Americans played Slovenia here in Joburg this afternoon. Here's the best of the action with Peter Drury. Group C looks like this. Slovenia top the group with 4 points. The USA have got just the 2. Obviously, that's going to change tonight. Hopefully, in the right direction for us. One of those goals there, we saw an excellent bit of technique from near post. Never mind trying to slide it in or across it. Just aim it at high speed at the goalkeeper's head. Seems to work a treat. Well, what else is he supposed to do? He can't stand his ground. Just go like that, bang, straight in. Anyway, great finish, I must say. I know you're all at fever pitch back at home, not least James Corden and Dizzy Rascal. Let's go back to the Brazilian goal. On and off air, we debate this long into the night at our living quarters. It was dawn before we stopped talking about Maicon's goal. Did he mean it, or didn't he?
If he wasn't Brazilian, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Patrick, do you think he meant it?
No, I don't think so. I think he was a fantastic goal, but he didn't mean it.
Kevin, do you think he meant it?
No, but he's Brazilian, so he may have done.
Right. He has got form. If Maicon was here, he would probably say to us in Portuguese, look, I scored one just like that against Portugal in November 2008. Look, of course he meant it. He's done precisely the same thing here, Kevin.
That's what I said. He's Brazilian. Terrific strike, that one. I agree with Gareth. I don't think he meant it on this occasion at the World Cup. I think he was struggling to keep the ball in. And
do you know, I have to hold my hands up. It's shocking goalkeeping. Both of them.
Right. Say that much. You said South Korea were going to win yesterday as well.
Yeah, but I like to back the under. I'm going to back Algeria tonight, just so we get the result.
That's a big relief for all of us. We'll be back shortly. We'll be hearing from this man who hasn't taken this bit of advice from his former player, now on our team here.
Don Fabio, the whole England is asking you to play Gerrard close to Rooney. You need to open your mind. The 4-4-2 was in the 90s.
Don Fabio coming up shortly.
The FIFA World Cup has produced its share of heroes and villains over the years. Here are just a few memorable moments. Now we'd like to help you create your own World Cup memories. One winner will take home a cash prize that grows by £500 every time a goal is scored in the group stages. That's £500 added for every goal scored. In the last FIFA World Cup, that would have been over £50,000, and we're hoping for even more this time. For your chance to win, just answer this question. Which England manager is next in this sequence? Bobby Robson, Graham Taylor, who's next? A. Terry Venables, B. Sven-Göran Eriksson, C. Fabio Capello. To enter, call 090 41 61 2010. Calls cost £1.50 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles considerably more. Or you can...
The prize fund there, by the way, is more than £20,000 already. I wonder how many of this lot would swap that £20,000 for England to win the World Cup. In full voice they were down in Cape Town. This is where they aim to stay, in South Africa, all the way. Let's go to Kelly down at the waterfront there. How's it going, Kelly?
Hi, Adrian. There's about 25 to 35,000 England fans here in Cape Town. The official ticket allocation is much less than that, but most of them have been heading over to the stadium behind me. At least it sounds that way. The vuvuzelas are loud and clear from where we're standing. For those that arrived in Cape Town early this morning, they've been keeping themselves busy. They've been heading over to Robben Island to see where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated for 27 years. They've also been taking cable cars up Table Mountain, but most of them have been watching the big screens to watch that other Group C match, which of course was a perfect result for England earlier today. So we went down to chat with them, and while we're never surprised at how far England fans have travelled to come and watch their team, sometimes it's the shorter distances that are surprising. Many of the fans live here in South Africa, but just how many?
Yeah, there's plenty. More than South African supporters. Yeah.
Why?
Because they know how to play.
When you live here, it's always busy because it's a busy part of the world for tourism. But it's fantastic. I've never seen anything like it.
I've come from Ormskirk in Lancashire. We came out in November. We normally go home in April, but we decided to stay on, obviously, for England. So we're here for all the group matches.
How do you think England are going to get on against Algeria tonight?
Well, if the goalkeeper doesn't have soap on his hands, we'll be OK.
How far can England go in this tournament?
Oh, I think they can go to the semi-finals at least.
We're going to come top of our group, easy, and then we're going to win the next match, easy, and then we're going to win the next match, and then we're going to win it all, easy, sorted.
Do you think England's performance tonight is going to live up?
It has to. It has to. We couldn't possibly go home. And we've got tickets
for the winning the group. Last 16 quarter-finals, then we've got to beg, steal and butter for the semis and the finals.
Well, if England are going to progress, then they might need divine inspiration. We passed by a church in Cape Town earlier that said, Bafana Bafana scores, Jesus saves. But as Rob Green will tell you, even he might need more than that with Jabulani.
Kelly, thanks very much. Andy Townsend is our co-commentator tonight in the Greenpoint Stadium. He's pitchside with Jim Rosenthal. Jim.
Thank you very much indeed, Adrian. Good evening. Welcome to pitchside. It's a beautiful, warm evening here in the Cape. As Kelly's been telling you, England have fantastic support. Now, Andy, the keeper's warming up right behind us here. What do you make of the decision? Not only the decision, how it was made.
Well, I think that as the week has wore on, without any vocal support for Rob Green from Capello, I think it was pretty inevitable what was going to happen. But mean, after all, we mentioned Gareth Barry was going to be playing some 2 or 3 days ago, but still the question marks over the goalkeepers. I just hope that the player himself, I just hope that Rob Green was told before it was out there in the public domain, Jim. Nothing worse for a player finding out these days on a website or in a newspaper that you're not playing. That's not right. I hope that's not the case.
How about Gareth Barry? First game for 6 weeks. Why is he so important to England, Andy?
Well, he will be tonight because of the centre-halves. I think without Rio Ferdinand, there is a lack of pace at the back. And I think that Gareth is probably the best of the England midfielders without the ball. And there's some very talented players with it, but every now and again you need somebody there that's going to fill a gap and maybe run into an area, Jim, where the ball isn't, protecting others, particularly Carragher and Terry.
Wayne Rooney saying he doesn't care about the performance, all he wants is a win. Would you go along with that?
Well, a win, of course, is the utmost importance, but I think everybody, I think even the players, and probably more so for them than anyone tonight, it would be nice to see an England victory with a bit of zip, with a bit of style, with a bit of polish, and just a touch of class, and lay down a little bit of a marker to 1 or 2 of the other teams, Jim, that are starting to get it together.
Cheers, Andy. Thank you very much indeed. That's all for us. For the moment, Adrian, back to you in Johannesburg.
Zip, style and polish, or alternatively any old win will do. Everything was going swimmingly well for England until around 8:10 last Saturday night. Since that goalkeeping howler, the pressure's been right on all week. Now, tonight, only a win will really do. Here's Don Fabio, as Marcel calls him, with Gabriel Clark.
Fabio Capello is 64 today.
Yes.
You're never too old to stop learning. This week, England's coach has faced his first bout of serious criticism. Fabio's looked fallible. No coach can bargain for a freak, but either side of Green's gaff gambles backfired. The USA stood firm, and England looked predictable, even old-fashioned.
Now, Franz Beckenbauer said England are kick and rush.
Yes, I read, but against USA we tried to play, but the USA was really compact. It was impossible to play like the style that I like, that we use normally.
It's as close to an admission that Don Fabio lost the tactical battle, isn't it?
I can do mistakes. I made mistakes. I think the US is a really good team. They press a lot, they're running a lot. It's not easy to play against. They had only 1 chance to score goal. And we created, I think, 6, 7 chances to score. But we missed these chances.
Which is why Capello is so relieved to have Gareth Barry back, to add brain to the brawn, to restore the shape to a system that was made to measure for Wayne Rooney during qualifying. Capello's favourite has scored only once in the last 2 months.
The USA were very pleased with the way they stopped Wayne Rooney influencing the game. How do you get more out of Wayne Rooney against Algeria?
I think Wayne Rooney played a good game against the USA. He didn't score, but he made 2 or 3 good passes. One for Steve, one for Sean Wright Phillips. He didn't score. He's one of the most important players in England. He's in good moment of form. He didn't score, but it's not important for me.
Is he at his very best in training, Wayne Rooney?
Yeah, yes, it's good, it's good. We train with confidence and really focusing everything that we prepared.
Algeria, how good are they?
It's a good team. They scored always a lot of goals. When you go into counter-attack, it's dangerous. And also, like USA, they are really dangerous at pieces because they shoot very well.
If it was not an auspicious start, Capello's only part of an elite managerial club who must do better. And with the wisdom of age, you learn to keep things simple.
What is the one quality you most need against Algeria?
Score goal. Come on, score goals.
Hopefully the coach has got some inspiring words for the team. Here are some from the president of the Football Association and his brother.
Well, obviously 10-0 would be quite nice, Nicholas, but I don't think that's realistic. I think, you know, bearing in mind it's Fabio Capello's birthday as well today, I think couldn't be a better present than having England win at least 3-0 or something like that tonight.
So a message to the team?
Win-win-win.
Rooney
to score loads.
No pressure. Well, they won't see it, so it's fine. But yeah, I think a win would be fantastic, obviously. But I don't think we should put a particular number on it. I think 1-0 is good enough. A win's a win.
There you have it. What did you make of Capello's sort of mood? How did he look to you earlier?
Confidence. I think nobody knows the team better than he does, so he looked confident, and I think he trusts the team 100%, and he knows that England can beat Algeria.
Gareth, what did you make of it?
Look, he's taken a lot of stick this week, and it's easy to manage with hindsight. You know, when we sat here the other night, we agreed with the team that he picked. We agree really with most of the changes he's made tonight, possibly not switching Steve Gerrard to the left. He did it, his record's been great in the qualifying group when he named his team 2 hours before, so we've got to allow him the opportunity to manage.
By the way, by way of a bit of light relief, we went out today, and we'll show you the full report tomorrow for make a very sophisticated scientific analysis in laboratory conditions of that Jabal. I don't want to call it the Jamiroquai ball, no, the Jabalani ball. We had a little kickabout, some highly trained operatives. We tested it on free kicks, and I cannot confirm. If it hits you in the Jabalonis, it is extremely painful. I won't be crossing my legs this evening, I promise you. There are 113 of the world's television and radio companies based here at the International Broadcast Centre at Soccer City in Johannesburg. What, we wondered, do they think of our boys? Ned Bolting's been knocking on some doors.
It's looking like an England-Switzerland World Cup final, isn't it now?
The English team has to win tonight.
Yeah,
and
I know. If you were Maradona and I said to you, you can have any of the England players for your team, who do you have?
First of all, I would love to be Maradona.
Brazil are quite good at football.
I like Gerrard a lot.
England has more chances to win this game.
I bet when you broadcast back to Algeria, you tell a completely different story. I bet you say that you were going to win.
Of course.
I think we have players like Rooney in Brazil. Not so good like Rooney.
A bit like Rooney, but not as good in Brazil.
Yeah. I think.
Your goalkeeper make a big mistake. Yeah.
Do you think England could win the World Cup?
No, I don't think so.
I know Capello. We can see a great England.
Who are our best players?
Rooney. No?
Yeah, you don't want Peter Crouch then? Peter Crouch. Yeah, I think I'll just leave them alone.
I like David Beckham, but
he's not playing.
Yeah, I know.
You just like the hair, don't you?
The hair I don't have.
You were telling me maybe I should take Gerrard.
Yeah, I'd
maybe
set that up a bit.
Take, I don't know.
Kevin, it always strikes me that around the world, everybody wants to beat England, whether we happen to be good, bad or indifferent at the time. It's like the Man United kind of problem. Everybody wants to beat you. Did you find that when you were manager?
Yeah, and when I was playing as well. And, you know, in some ways, that's a compliment. I think what you've got to be able to do, and what Capello will be hoping for tonight, is that the England players will take it on and say, like Terry said there, it starts now. You know, we've got to do it. The players have to take the responsibility. And Capello seems very relaxed. But when they cross that line, it's the players, how they're going to get together, what they're going to do. And the players are there for England, I'm sure of that.
OK, just about 20 minutes now till the teams are out. When we come back, we'll hear from the returning midfielder, of whom very much is expected. Guess what? The stadium looks beautiful. They all look beautiful around here. Greenpoint Stadium in Cape Town, right at the southern tip of South Africa. We've got royalty in the house there. Not a bad idea to cover your eyes up, depending on how England play. Get your lipstick right. He's trying to impress the bloke to her right. Will he be impressed? What do you think? Yeah, it's all right. Nothing special. See you for the football, really. What do you like on Algerian football? Here's a quick guide to the side from North Africa, trying to break English hearts tonight at the southern tip of South Africa. Right at the other end of the continent from us, it was a French colony until 1962. Population slightly more than half the size of the UK's. The capital's an easy one to remember, and Algiers is where the current club champions play their football. Top of the heap of an 18-club championship. Like England, the national team's best year for a while was 1990. Their World Cup record, though, isn't the best. In the rankings, they're 22 south of England, sandwiched between Turkey and Paraguay. The coach was in charge when Algeria last qualified for the finals in '86. This time out, played one, lost one, to Slovenia. Well, Slovenia, it's they have, not Slovenia, who we play in Algeria, I'm getting nervous here. They have got a goalkeeper who let one in against Slovenia, haven't they? Which is always promising for us. Let's have a little look at him in action. It was a shot by...
We've just found out that they've dropped him, so two different goalkeepers in. And actually, the team, fairly similar to the other day. We think they'll play 5 at the back, 4 in midfield, only 1 striker. So, you know, not particularly ambitious in a forward sense, but Patrick, you know quite a few of these lads, don't you, from Algeria?
Yeah, I think the main man in this team may gonna be Ziani. He used to play for Marseille. He stayed there for a few months until he went alone. But he's quite really good technically. He's quite fast. He's a really good player.
10 French-born players there are in that side. England will go through the team again in a minute. What you need to know is that England make 3 changes to the team that started against the States. 1 enforced, Carragher for King, 1 down to form, James for Green, and 1 thanks, and we give thanks for the return to fitness of Gareth Barry. The Man City midfielder has been talking to Gabriel.
What's it like to be England's saviour? The laugh is modest, but he is a special case.
Gareth Barry for England!
Fabio Capello broke his World Cup fitness rule for Gareth Barry. Last month's ankle injury had left the coach agonising almost as much as the man himself.
Was there ever a moment when you thought, I'm not going to make it?
Yeah. When I spoke to the specialist, he said 6 to 8 weeks, and it was sort of hard to take in. I had to spend the night in the hotel, you know, obviously thinking about it. It was sort of hard to get to sleep. And the Man City physiotherapy team were brilliant with me. They said, we believe you can get back if you work hard. So we went from there, really. I was sleeping in the oxygen tent every night. Every morning for an hour and a half, I was in an oxygen chamber. When I did see the specialist again, he was taken back and said, you know, I probably got this one a little bit wrong, and he was very surprised at the progress I made.
Barry was starting to wonder if he'd ever make a World Cup. 10 years ago, it all came so easily to the precocious teenager who went with England to Euro 2000.
How do you compare to the young lad capped by Kevin Keegan?
Yeah, such a long time ago.
Another young England gun is about to get a debut.
I was away in Holland and Belgium with you know, the likes of Tony Adams and Alan Shearer. My position's changed, my mentality, the way I approach games changed. A completely different player from then, and you know, I think I'm a better player.
His peers have almost 3 times as many caps. Barry's only just found himself.
As the manager's changed, so did my position.
The jack of all trades has mastered an art after a unique process of elimination.
In terms of me turning professional, with Aston Villa, I was in a 5-3-2 position. I was sort of left of a back 3 alongside Gareth Southgate. They then changed to a 4-4-2, sort of went to left back, and that's really where Kevin Keegan picked me to play in Euro 2000. That's where I made my debut for England. Graham Taylor arrived at Aston Villa. He moved me to a left midfield spot. It was sort of Martin O'Neill who really showed faith as a central midfielder. Gave me the captain's armband, and sort of my confidence grew and grew.
Fabio Capello immediately appreciated his merit. After all, most top World Cup teams of recent times have had an expert in the Gareth Barry role, the insurance policy, who allows the others to shine.
How would you describe the role? Water carrier?
If you look at the players I'm playing alongside, they're renowned for their goal scoring. I'm in there to sort of keep things together, protect the back 4, maybe start attacks going forward. You've got to be everywhere, and I try not to stay middle. That's probably what the water carrier does, try and get away from that.
Gareth Southgate or Kevin Keegan, who was the biggest influence on your career?
It's tough, really.
Give us a name, because they're both our pundits.
I think Gareth had a lot of influence on my career. I learned a lot from him at a young age, which is so important. You know, Kevin Keegan, I'll never forget, he had the faith in me with my debut, and you know, if he'd have stayed England manager, maybe I would have you know, played in a World Cup by now. But you know, it wasn't to be, and you know, sort of missed out a little bit there.
And the ankle's all right?
Yeah, that's good.
Gareth, you're a great influence on him. So he plays badly tonight, it's all your fault. It's a bad habit he picked up from you at Villa.
Well, you knew, I saw him play as a 16-year-old at Villa. Within 20 minutes of watching him in a youth team game, you knew what a quality player he was. I mean, I had longer with him than Kevin did. As an international manager, you don't get long with players, do you? But his quality's there. My only concern with it for him tonight, he's not played a first-team match for 6 weeks. To go into a World Cup game, that's a big ask. But he's certainly got the temperament to deal with it.
Kevin, you had faith in him then when you picked him. Have you got faith in him tonight?
Very much so. I think when he was young, I don't think you can play that holding position when you're young. You need experience. He's an experienced player now. But what you'll always get from Gareth Barry, even when he was young, and even more so now, he'll give you 8 out of 10 every week. He may not get 10 out of 10, but he'll never dip below 8, 7, and that's what you want in that position. He's got plenty of ability around him tonight. He's just got to... He's called himself the water carrier, and that's the way he's got to be tonight. He's got plenty of ability around him. Get the ball from him, give it to the players, and keep doing that job, and he will. He's an 8 out of 10 for me every week, and you can't say that about every player.
Let's have a look at the team as a whole. Where does he fit in here then Kevin, into the setup?
Well, his job is basically to protect the back four and allow Lampard, Gerrard, Lennon, of course, will be out wide on the right, and also Johnson and Cole to get forward, because don't forget, they're good going forward as well. So, you know, that's his job, and he'll do it. You know, he's done it with Man City, as Patrick knows only too well, and he'll do it for England.
Patrick, how will the Algerians try and play against this side? How would you advise them?
The first quality of the Algerian side is to keep the ball. They're going to try to upset England. They're going to try to pass the ball around and to frustrate the England team. So England has to be really patient, keep their calm, and they will find a way to score. Because I think up front, on the middle, it will be they will be too strong for the Algerian team. What's your view on the goalkeeper situation? The right thing to do to bring David James in? It's a really difficult decision. As a player, I think you always want to come back to show to the manager that you're still a good player, a good goalkeeper. Obviously, the decision didn't go on the green side, and I'm afraid that the World Cup will be finished for him.
Gareth, Emil Heskey up front again with a rather quiet Wayne Rooney. Those two really need to click, don't they?
They do. I mean, the suggestion is that Rooney prefers playing with Heskey. I've got to say, I've never seen him stand in front of a microphone and say that, but I thought Emil did what Emil is good at on against the USA. And Rooney, I think, is a bit quiet. You know, I think he's over his ankle injury, but he was in such unbelievable form before he got it. Inevitably, it's going to take him time to pick that up. So hopefully Emil playing alongside him takes some of the physical weight off of him. But, you know, I think we've got to be flexible enough to try other options as well.
Let's head back to Cape Town briefly. Tonight's co-commentator Andy Townsend, pitchside with Jim Rosenthal. Jim?
Well, Adrian, the level and volume of England support here is just fantastic. No doubt England already world champions in that respect. Andy, if they're going to win the tournament, they can't afford to slip up against countries like Algeria.
No, not at all. And I don't think they've any reason to panic. I didn't personally believe the first performance was that poor. We've seen a lot of the top European sides really struggling. It's a good opportunity tonight, but let's get it straight, Jim. Algeria will be spirited, they'll be plucky, they'll have big hearts, but they're not the most talented side.
You watched them in Ireland, you weren't impressed, were you?
I saw them against Ireland recently, and I thought they were very poor, very average. And in this atmosphere, I can't believe that England won't pick it up tonight, another 20% of what they did against the USA, and put Algeria to bed.
Andy, we stood here pitchside in rural Rustenburg. What a contrast here. This feels like a proper football stadium.
It certainly does, and I think it will definitely suit the England players. It's very much like the Emirates in design and feel, and the atmosphere in here. It's much, much better with respect to everyone up at Rustenburg. This is a whole different scenario altogether, and I just think it will suit the England players far better.
Over 60,000 the capacity here. When the England players run out and see the level of support, you know all about that, don't you? How much will it lift them?
Oh, that is always such a fantastic feeling for any player. When you take to the field and you see that you own 3/4, if not even more than that, of the stadium, it gives you a fantastic lift before the off, Jim. If you need any little bonus just before a big game like tonight, you get it when you see that all your fans are packed in. And then
thanks very much indeed. Well, England win the next 2 matches, top of the group. Simple as that, Adrian.
England campaigns often, though, do end in horror of some kind or other for us. Sometimes the team's the author of its own misfortune, but you never get very far in any walk of life without a bit of luck. And is it just me, or are we never actually very lucky? It's enough to keep you awake at night.
Oh no! Twice in a week, and England's World Cup hopes are in tatters. Nobody sleeps tonight.
Oh, God. Oh, that's only a dream. Oh, thank God we're still in the World Cup.
And England take the lead!
England match days. Nightmare.
Oh no.
We just never seem to get a scrap of luck.
It's another excruciating World Cup exit for England.
But today we're going to be good, but we're not going to be unlucky. Blimey. Hat off bed. Umbrella? Up in the house? I think not. Shoes off the table. So let's review our superstitions. Magpies. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy.
And does it superbly! Brilliant! Ah, why not?
Cracks in pavements. Because it wouldn't do any harm to borrow other countries' superstitions.
This is real pressure.
The French. What's that thing they did the year they won it? You know, that head-kissing thing. Even if we get all the superstitions right, we still need a bit of luck. How about a bit of the luck of the Irish?
Luck of the Irish? Yeah, we're really lucky we are.
It's always a good idea to surround yourself with really lucky people. You know, blokes genuinely blessed with good fortune.
Southgate. Oh no, he's missed it!
As long as we're all really careful, it's going to be fine. Sing up for the lads. Wear your colours. Come on, come on. If nothing else good happens in this World Cup, I have kissed Patrick Vieira's head. It was not a body double, it was him, it was my lips and his head. It was marvellous. Anyway, listen, no nightmares tonight. England's dream of lifting the World Cup really starts here tonight. Players are about to emerge. They'll do so when we return. Right, England, no slip-ups tonight, please. We're after an exciting, enjoyable evening, seasoned with a number of England goals. Here's the team Don Fabio has picked.
David James, goalkeeper.
Ben Johnson, defence.
Jamie Carragher, defence.
John Terry, defence. Ashley Cole, defence. Aaron Lennon, midfield. Frank Lampard, midfield. Gareth Barry, midfield. Steven Gerrard, midfield.
Emil Heskey, striker.
Wayne Rooney, striker.
This bird knows a thing or two. The safest perch in the house, the back of the Algeria net. You're never going to get hurt there, son. I promise you. I'm assuming it's a boy. I don't know why I said that. A friend texted me from a pub somewhere in England and just said, horrible. Where is the team from qualification? Well, is it horrible? And where is the team from qualification?
Yeah, shadow of the team that qualified. It seems to me like some of the players are either just gone over the top. Would put Rooney in that class at the moment. He's trying hard, but it's just not coming for him. And others are probably carrying stuff and they just can't get going. And that's why, you know, I think Fabio Capella's got a big half-time team talk here.
You watched an incompetent French performance last night. Must make a pleasant change to come and see an incompetent England performance. What's going wrong, Patrick?
It's not so much different between the England and the French from last night. And it feels like they can really deal with the pressure. We all know that England can do better than what they're doing now. And they didn't have the something to give them more belief. They didn't create so many chances, and some of the players maybe played with frustration a little bit because they had lack of confidence, I will say.
We were saying before, off camera, Gareth, you were saying it's great playing for England. You go out there and that away support really makes a big difference. The conditions are perfect for us. It's a lovely pitch, etc., etc., etc. And they come out and they're as nervous as turkeys at Christmas. They're frightened to death.
Well, that is exactly what we look like. We look frightened. And the concern about that is, you know, every game we play from here on in is a high-pressure game. When you get into the knockout phase, it's even more tense than this. So if we can't handle this, then there's a big problem. And I would imagine Capello might go in and just fire into them just to try and snap them out of it and give them some energy.
So, I mean, let's take a look through some of the you know, it could have been really dangerous at the beginning. There were some... You couldn't call it comedy defending, it was just...
No, but again, it's incidents that happen that spread anxiety through. Dave James doesn't quite get the punch right, though he's under pressure. Glenn Johnson's clearance is poor, and they're the sort of things that, in the first 15, 20 minutes, they ripple through the team. You see Glenn Johnson marked here at right back. He's looked very leggy to me. Gets beaten very easily on the outside. Cross comes in. When it comes back out again, it's fired in, and Jamie Carragher has a real swing at it. Could have gone anywhere, and that was going through the team, Kevin, wasn't it?
Nervousness, you know. They need They need the first goal here, definitely, and that'll settle them. But they look like a team that just lost a little bit of belief.
And we spoke about Gareth Barry before, and he actually has had...
I said 8 out of 10. Gareth Barry's 10 out of 10. But the problem there is, if Gareth Barry is your best player, then you're already under a bit of pressure. He's covered for the defenders twice brilliantly. He's used the ball well apart from once. But we need the Rooneys, we need the Gerrards, and we need the Lampards. They're the big players.
Patrick, as a player, it happens to you all the time, because that's football. You come off the pitch, nothing's working. What do you do to change that? Is it changeable?
I think if some stuff will happen in the game will make them change. It's just the little things will give them confidence. And the way they concede the goals in the first game, I think at the back, even if Green made the mistake, the confidence is not really high because it has a team how they concede the goal, put them a little bit down. And we can see in the first 15 minutes, all the danger area was just a lack of confidence. It's not about the quality of the players because we know how they're good. It's just the confidence, the belief on themselves they need.
Kevin, you've been where this man's standing now.
Yeah, and he's going to go grey shortly. He's bound to. I mean, he can't stay that colour, his hair. But it's the worst because he knows they're better than this. He's frustrated because he's seeing players who he knows are top class players performing very averagely, and in some cases not at all.
He's one of the few managers who does seem to have the happy knack of getting a better second-half performance than a first-half performance. What does he say to them after that, Kevin?
Well, I think he's got to go in there and he's got to be a little bit harsh with them. I think he's got to tell them reality. Carry on like this, and we can't win this competition.
So we'll be back shortly, hopefully for an improved second half. England fans around the ground. If they made a statue of a typical England fan, then one of these poses would probably do. The way we're playing at the moment, it is going to get better, isn't it? It's got to get better. Join us in a moment. Oh, this is not appropriate, is it? We're playing like drains. Football's one thing, snogging's another thing. What on earth are they going to be up to if we actually start playing well? It does not bear thinking about. Keep a camera on them, please. Right, let's have some positive thoughts or some positive suggestions. How can we improve things? Patrick, go on.
How we can improve is try to get Wayne Rooney more into the game. I would love to see him more getting the ball on his foot and try to organise the attacking game of England.
Kevin?
Bring Joe Cole on. Because he's got a little bit of... I think he's got a real football brain. He can play at this level, and he just might open something up.
Gareth?
Yeah, I think somebody like Joe Cole that keeps possession well, play him on the left, move Gerrard up in behind Rooney. We've got to keep the ball better. We've got to match them up in midfield a bit and keep possession of the ball. And look, we've just got to go and play. Don't come off here with any regrets. I think he'll be saying that. We could find ourselves in an awful situation without ever having had a go at it. You know, they've got to now throw the shackles off and start to believe in themselves a bit more.
Well, we traditionally play better in the second half. Are we going to see a defence splitting pass, Rooney running onto it and
We've
putting
got
it
to
away?
start getting it right from
Yeah.
the beginning of the game, by the way. But yeah, I mean, we're looking for a moment of magic at the moment. It's going to be an outstanding individual goal rather than anything that we create by the looks of it.
Probably got to make a change, like I say, because that just might spark something off, and nothing to lose. You know, a draw's not a disastrous result.
No.
It will be seen that way back home, but it's not.
Yeah. Were they just trudging out there, or were they coming out full of purpose? I think we're probably about to find out. Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley, take it away. Trust us, the maths has it that if England beat Slovenia, then England will go through. That's a big if, you've got to say, on that performance. Let's hear from the skipper, Steve Gerrards, with Gabriel Clark.
Steve, what was missing tonight? Goals. We're not happy with the performance. We need more. We want to stay in this tournament till the later stages. We need to improve. But we weren't good enough in the final third to get the breakthrough.
A lot said about the pressure of a World Cup. Was it that got to the players as well?
No, not at all. We've got no excuses. We know the job we've got to go and do. We've got to go and win the last game, and that adds more pressure. But, you know, to play at this level, you've got to handle it. You've got to play under pressure. And we never hit our level today. Not good enough.
Why?
I don't know. We'll have to have a look at it. Have a look at the reasons why. We weren't aggressive enough. We never won the ball back early enough, and we never had the cutting edge in the final third.
We talk about credit maybe to Algeria, or are they the sort of team you have to be beating?
No, we have to beat them. Yeah, of course, you've got to give them credit. This is their World Cup final, and they've managed to get a draw off us, but we've got to look at ourselves.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, credit to the skipper, he's absolutely put his hands up there. The fans were obviously unimpressed by it. We heard this from Wayne Rooney as he was trudging off the pitch.
Nice to see your home fans booing you. That's what loyal supporters.
Well, you can understand the fans' frustration. I've got to say, I can understand his frustration. I don't feel annoyed with any other players because they're trying. I just don't know why it's not coming together. There's nobody who doesn't want it as much as we do, is there?
I think, look, you know, he is the sort of lad. To us, he doesn't look fully fit, and he looks frustrated with his own performance. He's frustrated with everything else. You can understand the reaction of the fans. And I can understand his reaction, because when you've played poorly, you're so disappointed. It's important now that everybody sticks together. You know, people shouldn't look at that and think, well, you know, he's out of order or whatever. It's a reaction at the end of a 90-minute game that he'll look back on and regret. But, you know, everybody has to now stick together because we've got to perform better than we did.
Kevin?
I think he's had a fantastically successful career from being 16, 17 years of age. He's been a wonderful player. He's had a poor tournament so far, and he's frustrated. And he's not used to being frustrated. He plays for Man United. He's in a team that does well, performs well every week. But I think the skipper in his interview was absolutely spot on. He put it right back in their court and said, we've got to handle this. We've got to be better. You know, you've got to look at yourself in this situation. That's what I would be doing as a player.
Patrick, you've got the second night running. You've watched your team, kind of your performing poorly. Can you make any sense of it for us?
It will be difficult because Slovenia play really well, even if they get the draw. But the first half they played, they was top-class team. And if England want to beat them, they will have to improve. And as a players, I think it's really important to see the way that Steven Gerrard and Wayne Rooney react. And I think that's really positive because they show that they know, first of all, that they have to play better than what they did. They didn't perform the way that everybody expected, but even themselves, they was expecting to play better than that. And I think it's really encouraging because they're not satisfied with what they delivered today, and that's good.
I mean, he can't make any sense of his own performance any more than we can. Kevin, during the game, you said tellingly they're just not enjoying this. We saw Ashley Cole shaking his head and rolling his eyes. Well, similar thing from Rooney there.
The faces tell you, you know, you don't have to hear them say anything. It's frustrating. When you get to this level and you're on this stage, you come with great hopes, you want to perform well, You know, I've been through it when I was back, you know, when I was injured and got on for about 20 minutes. It is so frustrating because you wait so long, you've worked so hard, but it's still in their own hands. You know, we shouldn't be writing an obituary yet because England have still got it in their own hands, despite one average performance and one very poor performance.
Let's hear from the manager then. He's with Gabriel Clark.
Fabio, would you agree that that was not good enough?
The result that all the teams are all square. Only this, nothing more, because we play no good game. We miss a lot of balls, easy passes, a lot of the control of the ball. I think we have to play another game. After we hope we'll be happy.
You talked about the pressure affecting players in the first game. Did the pressure affect too many players in this game?
I don't know if it's pressure or no good moment, but I think it was not good game because we lose too many balls, we lose too many passes. I think it was not the same team that I know. The team that I know when we train.
During the qualifiers?
Yes. This is.
What has happened to that team?
I don't know. Probably you said the pressure. Probably, but
fear.
I hope no, because I haven't fear. After the result of the USA was for us was really good to win, but we suffered the other team that when we play the ball, they don't win back the ball quickly, and they play without pressure.
Do you now think about changing the formation? Is the formation bringing out the best in Rooney, in Gerrard, in Lampard?
Yeah, I think I don't like to speak about one player. So when you play, you don't play well. It's not only one player or two players that can make the difference. I think it's the team. This evening he didn't play the spirit that I like.
And the formation, must that change? The tactics?
Yeah, but yes, I can change. I will try to do something different.
Now you need to lift the team for the game against Slovenia.
Yes.
Is it going to be difficult to do that?
No. I think I spoke with the players. Will be the last chance that we have to go forward. But the players know what you have to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Obviously, he's hampered by the fact that English isn't his first language. I couldn't really get what he's saying. Was that Capelloese for saying, yes, we weren't that good?
Yeah, I think so. I think he would accept that the performance wasn't what it should be. He's talking about pressure. At this level, you have to be able to handle that pressure. It's only going to get more intense as the tournament goes on. The next game's even more pressure than that one. What you have to raise the question, the way Capello is, Patrick, and you mentioned it during the game, does he increase the pressure? You know, the manager's job now is to take that pressure as much as possible away from the players. And it seems a very intense camp, and he seems a very intense manager. And you know, you mentioned that during the game.
The atmosphere around the team must be really, the pressure must be really high, because I think what England needed is a good victory today to relieve all the pressure, and they didn't do it. So the pressure is getting higher because they will play Slovenia. That I believe that Slovenia a better team than Algeria, so it will be more difficult. But they've been lucky because they didn't win a game yet, but they still have the possibility to go through. We went through to that situation with France. We drew the first two games, and we had to win the last game by 2 goals difference without our best player, Zidane. And we did it, and we went through the final. So they have to keep believing in themselves that they can do it.
Oh, I love it that you're on board, Patrick. I just make me feel
it's
better.
all about believing themselves.
Not for Patrick Vieira. We'll see you shortly. If Fabio Capello's had a more miserable birthday than his 64th, I'm glad I wasn't at the party, is all I can say. We'll be back in a minute. If anyone can cheer you up after that performance, it'll be James Corden. His World Cup live show follows us here live on ITV1. A little later, guest tonight, Noel Gallagher, Russell Brand and David Seaman will be there. If you want something else to worry about, we've worked out that if England draw 2-2 against Slovenia and the States and Algeria draw 0-0, then lots will be drawn to decide who goes through. So, Lose, that will be another interesting way to go out the World Cup other than penalties. Just to mix things up a bit. Obviously, we'd lose lots if we drew them because that's what happens to England, isn't it? Steve Gerrard said something very interesting. He said we lack courage in the final third. Now, they lack a lot of things, but he's right. He's bang on. And he's talking about himself there, didn't he? Because when he had that chance, he was nervous. As Clive said, that wasn't the Steve Gerrard Liverpool shirt, was it?
Absolutely. When you talk about courage on a football field, people tend to think of making tackles or being brave. Being brave is about taking the ball under pressure, is about being prepared to shoot, is about being prepared to take people on in the final third. And generally, we were pretty poor. You know, there were several instances in and around their penalty area where we either chose the wrong option or people weren't prepared to take responsibility. You know, if earlier balls into the box, but we want the extra touch. Emil's trying to run and step over things, doing things that aren't naturally our game, and not taking enough responsibility, Kevin.
Yeah, when this says courage, it's responsibility, it's standing up and being he should really shoot here, I think. You know, it pulls it back, sort of get lost between the two things. And we saw Eski get in that situation later on where you think, just put his foot through it. This, I think, James, who was absolutely, for me, outstanding, but not because he played fantastic, because he came in, he knew he wasn't first choice at the start of the competition, and he didn't let us down. He had that one punch, which I think he did the right thing, because if he'd have caught it and dropped it in the net, we're in trouble. So he's had a good night. There are little pluses in there, which we shouldn't, you know, try and forget. But there's a lot more minuses tonight for me, and,
I mean,
they're the ones.
He handled the pressure. You know, he had to come in and perform. The manager's dropped his goalkeeper, backed him. He handled it, but...
Normally we'd sit here and have an if-only moment. Oh, if only that one had gone in. At least we've been spared that. There were no if-only moments, just a smattering of half chances.
Well, this in the first half was probably the best chance, and even then, it's a cross that's cleared by their defender. It's just behind Frank Lampard. I mean, you know, that's where he arrives well as a midfield player.
And it was on his left foot, Gareth, which, you know, in a perfect world you wouldn't want. But
this Lennon cross, he cuts inside. And actually, Alish just gets it off of Rooney's head. But again, it was frustrations. Gerrard header from the corner, but it's a header from 16 yards, and then Defoe comes on and just probably too early for him. Kevin, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, difficult chance when you come off the bench, but you know. There are pluses there. You've got to search long and hard for him. This is the guy that we need to catch fire, Wayne Rooney, because he's the main reason why we've played so well in qualifying. You know, there's other players contributed, but he's been the main reason, and we've got to somehow find a way of getting him, whether he's mentally not fit or physically got a problem, I don't know, but it's not the Wayne Rooney we know.
It doesn't look right, Patrick, does it?
It doesn't look right at all. I think he's more physical, because when you play at the World Cup, your mind is in the World Cup, you want to win the game. And the way Rooney we saw tonight is not the one we used to see. And I don't know, it was something was missing. It looked like his pain on his ankle that he was struggling a few months ago. I hope that is not bad and it's not that serious.
I mean, he'll be desperate to do well for us. You know, nothing would give him more pleasure than to lead that team. But he's frustrated. He doesn't seem to be able to do what he wants to do.
On this stage as well, Gareth, you know, you want to come absolutely fit, absolutely ready, you know, because at this level you need to be at your best, and Wayne's probably 10-15% below that. We can see it, he knows it, and that's why you saw his frustration at the end.
But more widely, I've met very few of the players. The one or two I've met are really decent. The impression I get, they are honest, hard-working and really want to do well for England, and they are pretty gifted, all of them. In which, that all being true, then some responsibility has got to rest at the birthday boy's door, hasn't it?
Yeah, because, as we said earlier, it's his role to get the best out of them. And he's got to try and relieve pressure from them. But once they step over the white line, they've got to be big enough to handle that responsibility. And you've got players here, I mean, they look haunted at the moment by wearing the shirt. And there's been spells like that throughout history with England. But this is one of those where they've got to dig in, and the game against Slovenia will be no easier than it was tonight, probably harder.
What would you say to him, Kevin?
Well, this fantastic support that we've got and have always had, we need now more than ever, and the players have got to try and tap into that, not see it as, ooh, you know, I can't handle this, it's a bit too much for me. They're on a big stage, they've all played on big stages, they've just got to find a way, and they've still got it in their own hands. Incredibly, despite the fact, as I said before, we've been poor in both games, even poorer this one than the first one for sure, they've still got it in their own hands.
The one thing that might come is a bit of a siege mentality, because they're going to get hammered. You know, we're trying to be as positive as possible, but it's impossible not to give them stick. I don't know.
The pressure will be higher. The pressure will be huge, because there's a big expectation on this team. And when you look at the players in this team, you said Gerrard won the Champions League, Lampard won few titles, and it's a big expectation, and that's normal.
But isn't it true that any team that ever won anything, there's a time in the season or in the competition when they think they've messed it up? There'll be Chelsea fans now who could tell you the moments in this season when they thought they'd completely thrown it away, ended up with the title. You know, it is retrievable.
Well, we might stumble upon a formula now, because Carragher's out now, so he's got to make a decision there. Will he try something in the third game just to spark it? It happened in 1990 with Bobby Robson, went to 3 at the back after we'd drawn our first 2 games. Happened in 86, Brian Robson got sent off, Ray Wilkins got sent off, Brian Robson did his shoulder, so by default, it might happen.
It's happened at club level with Liverpool when Larry Lloyd got injured all those years ago. Phil Thompson was a midfield player, went back. The rest's history, you know. So you're looking for a little bit of luck somewhere, but why not?
Patrick, England-France in the final. It's a certainty, isn't it? Us against you? What do you think?
I think you have more chance to go to the final than we do.
Yeah,
so
we're better than the French. That's something to absolutely cling on to, isn't it? James Corden's World Cup Live, as said, follows us next on ITV1. Looking forward to seeing what Noel Gallagher's got to say about all that. Then we've got highlights of all today's matches. You can watch that England one again if you like. It's, also, there's a stunning result in the Germany game, well worth seeing. ITV1 at 10 to 11. Tomorrow we've got 2 live games for you. Build up to Holland-Japan. Starts on ITV4 at 11:30, the match on ITV1 from 12. Then in the evening, Cameroon-Denmark. Build up ITV4 at 6:30, the match on ITV1 from 7. We do keep saying it, be positive. Slovenia is another day. It could all come good yet. Let's cling on to that. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Here we go again. And England have a chance to put down a marker tonight.
Your eyes are moist, you scream and shout, as though you were a man possessed. From deep inside comes a rushing forth, all the anguish you suppress. Upon your hangs your degree, your parents' grave.
That's much better, much better.
And though you're trained to make your
Lampard with a chance. Smart stop that by Mboli.
It's never too late to start all over again.
Taken off his head by Halish. Lampard can slip Rooney into flow. World Cup contenders, not on this form.
LucasAid Sport, The Edge.
The Hyundai World Championship 2010. Bring it on.
Visit ITV.com.